G'day YouTube. Who says I'm a mad scientist? And why do they want to know? Science is about knowing things, and knowing things is about measuring things. And if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So, when a yellow box tree dies, and then it air dries, and then the tree surgeon comes along and amputates the crown, and the dead crown falls down onto the ground, and it gets cut up for firewood. Hang on to the little stuff for use in the pot belly. Keep it back. To burn mixed with stringy bark, cut from a different crown, from a different tree, all pulled down on the same day, you see. Greenie living in the centre of a firewood mine. Just at the moment. And the scientific question to be answered today is, what does a trailer load of yellow box weigh? As firewood is concerned, adjudged and measured, this is pretty good stuff. Speaking based on assessment of air-dried, chainsaw milled yellow box cut from a different tree, already previously prepared, I'm prepared to suggest with a fair degree of certainty that this stuff has a specific gravity of 1.16, based on consideration of this small sample, 17.406 cubic centimetres, 20.3 grams, for a specific gravity of 1.662645 grams per cubic centimetre, with water weighing 1 gram per cubic centimetre. So yeah, here we have pretty much some of the best air-dried firewood that you can get in the northern tablelands of New England, New South Wales. Air-dried ironbark would be better, but I haven't got any of that. So this is going to my mother's place. Well, I'll keep that for moi. And just to demonstrate that seeing is believing, here we see dry wood, what won't float. Perfectly air-dried and tested and dried again before it was varnished to maintain the same moisture content of perhaps 10% moisture content. It's air-dried firewood, or air-dried quarter-cut milled wood. As you can see, the basket assembly weighs 3 pounds. Scale goes up to 26 pounds. If we have to, a bigger and gruntier scale may be enlisted. Commencing with the offcuts, which were removed to put flat square ends on the firewood. Tree surgeons tend to cut everything at odd angles, because what they're worried about is gravity, man. making stuff fall down neatly in a heap. Also, offcuts, which are loaded into the basket. And counted into the basket. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The scale is read off as being 15.5 pounds. £15.5 minus 6 gives us 9.5 pounds. Have you ever seen such an anally retentive way to deal with firewood? But it works. It serves its purpose of telling me how much firewood I'm burning. And that time it was £19 for 10 bits, which less than £6 for the basket gives us £13 of wood to go into my wheelbarrow, all in the name of science. So, 26.5 of firewood in 28 pieces of yellow box, with which, for me, to keep the home fires burning kind of thing. Because give us this day our daily firewood, right? Right, so that's the minor secondary supplemental question of the day. How much wood do I get out of it? From which I should be able to work out how much of the forest I'm pushing up through my own little chimney there. And now what I want to know is how much does a trailer load of yellow box weigh when it comes down to tin tacks, so to speak? Well, I guess we'll find out. Showing £9, that means 3. Showing £16, which is 13. £22.5, 18.5. Enough for one load. And load them into the trailer. 5. Do I overload the scale? More than 26. So we take one out, leaving 4. 25.5. Indicated. I think I just caught myself in a mistake. If that was 18.5 pounds, that was raw weight. So 3 for 12.5. I'll find out afterwards when I look at the whole thing backwards and see whether I made a mistake. Let's just say I'm being conservative on the side of presuming myself to have made an error rather than presuming myself not to have made an error. 2, 23.25 indicated. 17.25 pounds, the pair of them. Some flat-faced firewood, 21 pounds. That's 15 pounds of wood. And the trailer begins to fill. Okay, so that's 25.5 pounds indicated for 2 bits of wood, 19.5 pounds between them. Not really sure I'm going to be able to fit any 2 of these in there together. Although we'll have a go with that pair. These, I say after these, go into the trailer. Thus, 1 indicating 12.5 pounds. Yes. 2 at 21.5 indicated, which means 15.5 in real life. And now we go to the singletons. 20.5 pounds indicated, all on its own. A 14-pound lump of firewood. Right, everything that could cope with the little salter scale has been weighed. So these last 8 pieces, they get the big fella. And it finds a zero somewhere around the 5 pounds. So they're broadly in agreement, the little one and the big one. So that one reading 23.5, that's 18.5 pounds. Okay, so there's the last one. Reading 39 pounds on the ancient salter scale. So that's a 33-pound lump. Okay, so if we look at this calmly, dispassionately through the view of the alligator, 49 pieces of wood, weighs 510.5 pounds, which is 0.22 of a tonne, at $185 a tonne, top price for firewood. This has a marketable price. Delivered to a customer, $42.16. That's why I'm not in the business of being a firewood contractor. Because it takes too long to grow it, takes too long to dry it, let alone cut it and load it and drag it down and offload it again. And here's the kicker. There is no way that I would normally drive to town with the wood piled up like that. I did that for the sake of neatness and to show volumetric occupation. I would normally drive to town with that spread out across the floor of the trailer, and unless I did something absolutely aerobatic with the trailer, there's no way any of it could possibly depart from the trailer. But there's also no possible way you could tie that down. And about 5 or 10 years ago, they changed the road rules, and I've heard of police officers reaching through cargo nets. And if they can pull anything out through the hole in a cargo net, people are getting fined. So therefore I decided I'd better go and get the proper thing. Turns out the proper thing to restrain $42 worth of firewood is $84 worth of Load Tech full mesh cargo cover. Otherwise you could incur a nasty fine and lose points off your licence and have to spend your day talking to a police man who may have been talking to somebody who's got COVID-19 and who may breathe it in your face. So yeah, $84 to cover up $42 worth of firewood. Such is life in 2020. Which is apparently why, a couple of months ago, not last time I went to the dump, time before that, probably 6 months ago, I came across a whole lot of really high-grade rope. Long lengths of it. Nothing wrong with it. I come home from the dump with quite a bit of it in various lengths. And what's apparently gone on is somebody has been pinched by the cops and they've decided to throw away all their old-fashioned ropes because the people from the Roads and Maritime Services Board, for whom ropes are not ropes, they don't trust anybody to know the difference between a good rope and an old rope that's still a good rope. They reckon in today's modern world you have to use woven nylon snatch straps because your modern city-raised RTA bureaucrat or police orificer is constitutionally unable to tell the difference between a good rope and a bad rope. So yeah, $84 to cover up $42 worth of firewood. Because these days, everybody is expected to be officially stupid. Too stupid to know good rope from old rope. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao. Oh, look at that. There we go, Mr. Plod. I trust that will be deemed sufficiently neat. Whoops, look at that. As to pass muster. Now, with all that progress, my firewood trailer is officially safe to perform slow rolls, snap rolls, loops, Immelmans, hammerheads, and all kinds of other aerobatics which I never ever intend to perform with a firewood trailer. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.